Okay, we are going to start off by turning on our power and then lowering our canopy. Once that is shut all the way, we can secure it shut with that. Then we can go and toggle our start. So now our engine is starting up. And we can go look over here at our RPMs. So we'll wait for our engine to spool up to the 20 marking. And once it is there, we can uncage our throttle. Now that we have our throttle uncaged, we can head over here and start turning on our electronic systems. And then we can start our alignment, turn on that display. Our alignment will be shown here, and once this number here, one of these numbers here reaches 10, then that means we're fully aligned and ready to start flying. We can uncage this thing. Doesn't really matter too much though. Then we can head over here and turn on our countermeasures. I usually set it to bypass, which will let me just manually do my flares and chaff. Then prime my ejection seat. Turn on this guy, turn on RWR, power it on, turn on my HMD, and then for here, turn on my master arm so that I can actually do stuff. Right here we can see our alignment is ready, which means we can take off now. It's not completely aligned 100%. So we can navigate and stuff, it just won't be perfect. We can turn on the brightness of our HUD. So now we can see information displayed here. We can change what information we want to see using this panel right here with all of these buttons. We also need to turn our flight control radar on, this guy on too, and then if we have items on our hard points, specific types of ordnance, then we would need to turn on our hard points here. But since we don't have any of those right now, we wouldn't need those. Then we can look over here at this configuration. Cat 1 is what we'd have it set to if we have a light payload, which we don't have any bombs. We do have some missiles. I would typically leave it in Cat 1. And then if we have a lot of armament, then we would set it to Cat 3, which would smooth our controls. And over here we have our lighting panel, and then I usually don't use those because I don't really care about having lights on. Then we have our trim over here. The times where I use trim is typically my roll trim, for when I have an uneven amount of ordnance on either side of my aircraft. For example, if I fire an AMRAAM on one side and I have more weight on this side now because I have 3 here and only 2 over here, then I would set my trim to roll me slightly to the side so it evens out. And then once I fire the other one, I would need to bounce it out again. And yeah, then I would turn on my IFF to normal. And now my alignment is completely ready with that flashing ready, and it's on the 10, which means I can set my alignment to normal. No, not normal, navigation. So now I'm in navigation and I can turn on nose wheel steering. You can see this green indicator shows up here whenever I toggle nose wheel steering. So now I'll be able to turn the front wheel with my rudder control. Now I can throttle up a bit, move forwards, and taxi to the runway. Tap the brakes a little bit to slow myself down. Now, once we get to the runway, turn on to here. Check to make sure nobody else is on here. Just pull on. Since there's nobody else here, it doesn't matter really where we are. Brake. Now I'm holding down my brake, and I will go to full burner. Once my burner is all the way up, let go of the throttle. Once I'm around 80 knots, I will turn off nose wheel steering and use full rudder authority. So I'm at rudder authority. 140, pitch up to 5, pitch up to 10. Now I'm in the air. So I will lift my landing gear, reduce my engine power. Now I'm in the air, and to set myself up for air combat, I'll click air to air, and my radar will pop up here, my CRM radar. So this is more for BVR, beyond visual range, and so on here I'm able to change how far out I'm looking. This is 40 nautical miles, 80 nautical miles, 160. I typically keep it at 80. Then here I have my azimuth and my bars. Azimuth changes horizontally the sweep distance, so how far to the left and right I want my radar to sweep. Bars are vertical. We can see here right now we're scanning between 20,000 and negative 8,000 feet. So if I increase the bars to 4 bars, now I'm scanning a wider range, 31,000 feet to negative 15,000 feet. And then I can adjust the height of my radar using a keybind. I typically keep this at 2 bars. And the reason why you would want to have a lower radar scan area is so that you can have a more accurate scan and acquire targets quicker, because you only have to check these 2 bars, and you can see every time this azimuth travels across, it switches altitudes. So now I'm scanning. I did not fly to where the enemies are, so there won't be any things to fight against. But yeah, I can check my fuel over here. The F-16 does not carry very much fuel, so I have these tanks on the sides and underneath my jet to ensure that I'll be able to actually get back from the mission, which is important.